What's going on, everyone? So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the Star Wars Celebration exclusive, the Ronin R5-D56 from Star Wars Visions. So I enjoyed Season 1 of Visions for the most part. Season 2, not so much, but the duel was by far my favorite episode from Season 1. And when this was announced, I was pretty excited. I mean, this is a very unique set. It's a fitting set for Star Wars Celebration Japan. And on top of that, overnight delivery from Amazon. Can't beat it. I'm super excited for this one. And of course, it comes in this beautiful box. I mean, this is absolutely gorgeous. But when you get it, this piece here is in the middle, all right? It is held on by tape on either side. So you can just cut the tape and you can lift this off. All right, then you can get a better look at the picture. That's just cool. That is so cool. That's what that side looks like. You have the Ronin R5-D56, which is very slick. Got a cool picture of R5 there. Yeah, this just looks awesome. Star Wars The Black Series there. That is what that side of the box looks like. The back looks like that. Star Wars The Black Series, Hasbro logo, Disney logo. And back to the side. Top, you got nothing. Bottom, barcode, and a pant load of mouse print. But you can pop these doors open. Okay, so these are magnetic, which is a nice touch. Just pop the doors open, and then you're greeted with this. This big, it's just a big clear box. You can see everything. But you got the Ronin, his lightsaber, R5 with his little staff. His hat is just awesome. But this mural going across the back is absolutely gorgeous. You have a short bio there. I love this thing. And let's see if I can do this. All right, there. There we go. You can see the Ronin and R5. Just nicely displayed. I just love that. And to get in the box here, you can just lift the lid up. And this whole inner tray will just slide out the top. And then you have all of R5's accessories in this little box. And here, I'll just read this bio real quick. Accompanied by his droid R5-D56, the Ronin becomes an unlikely hero to a small forest village when he defends them from a Sith bandit and her crew. All right, I'm going to get the Ronin and R5 out of this box, and let's take a look at them. But real quick, before I show you the Ronin and R5, I wanted you to get a better look at the box with the figure tray out. And again, this tray literally just slides out the top. Super convenient, and the tray is just taped together top and bottom. Cut the tape, you can separate the tray, and you can get to the figures. And here are R5's accessories. They actually gave him rocket boosters. I just love that. I mean, he did fly in the show, so yeah, that's just awesome. And then you just have some tools there. And again, this little tray was up here in this little box. And that's what the inside of this looks like. That's just nice. That's just really nice. And here's a better look at the mural. Super cool. Super cool. Just love it. And here's a better look at this thing. So this is made out of paper, okay, but it looks like a, like a piece of rope or something. And the Ronin and R5-D56. Yeah, this box is absolutely beautiful. All right, now I'm going to get these two out of this tray, and let's get a better look at them. And here is the Ronin and R5-D56 out of the box. I think they both look phenomenal, and I love the desaturated look of them. I mean, the episode was in black and white, so this is perfect. The articulation on the Ronin is absolutely nutty. He looks fantastic, and of course R5 looks great. But since he's so stinking cool, let's take a look at R5 first. And here is R5-D56. I'm going to try not to spend a whole lot of time on this because we've seen this body before. It's the new astromech mold. It looks great, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, or I'm going to try not to. But this hat in particular just looks incredible. So much detail. It's just nicely done. And through here, you can barely see his blue sensor. It's a beautiful shade of blue. It really, oh, sorry. I took the top few layers of skin off my thumb. Ouchie. So I'm sorry you guys have to look at this. But back to this hat. You can barely see his blue sensor through here. It's a nice shade of blue. Yeah, that's a nice touch. But the body itself, I think, looks great. They did put some dirt on his front as well as the back. They didn't do anything else, but it's okay. I do love the ropes down here on his feet. All right, so he's in 3 legs right out of the box. But this one here can come off. Here, hang on. There we go. So you can just pull that rope. Oh, there goes that one. All right. These do come off very easily. But you can put the 3rd leg in and then have him in the 2-leg configuration. Okay, but yeah, just be aware. These things do fly off. All right, so I put that one back on, and then you can just pull this middle leg out and put this one back on. It's a little squirrely. Actually, hang on, let me see. There. Okay, that that actually went on a little easier that time. All right, so yeah, I think I'm going to keep him in 3 legs because I do love the look of this little rope around this middle foot. I think that looks cool. And as far as accessories, I went ahead and put 5 out of the 6 tools in here, okay? I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on this. It's just like R2-D2 and R5-D4 and R4-6DO. We've seen them before, okay? I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on that. And I'll just go ahead and mention, just in case you don't know, if you have the head up like this, if you turn it 90 degrees, you can pop this whole thing off and you can get to this a little easier, to pop these in. Okay, so that's pretty helpful. Yeah, let me put this back on. Hang on, stand by. There. And turn it again and blam. There. Okay, so I got 5 out of the 6 inside. Oh, I forgot to mention, the hat appears to be glued down. I can't get it off. I mean, if you have this set, if you're able to get this hat off, comment below. But I'm pretty sure it's glued down, but it's okay. It looks great on him. But as far as accessories, I do plan on keeping the claw out because I do want to display him with this bamboo stick. And since I have this, it looks like a piece of bamboo in black and white. Okay, it's just gray. Okay, it's cut on the end. Got those little, little knobbies throughout, and that's what that end looks like. It's a pretty cool accessory. And since we're on the subject of that bamboo thing, let me pop this door open. And let's put the claw in. Let's just stick it in this lower one. Okay, that's where it was right out of the box. Okay, and we'll pop this bamboo stick in there. And that looks awesome. Yeah, he actually holds that very well. It's very stable. But I'm kind of getting ahead of myself. I do want to take a look at the rocket boosters. So these things pop off on the side. They are very difficult to get off. You kind of have to wiggle them off, and you can just pop those in there. Get on there. There we are. Okay, there's that one. And let's take a look at this one. Get this one off. Why? All right. Stupid tight. And let's put this one on. There. Okay, that looks really good. And here, let me take this off again. Pop the middle leg in there, and there he is with the rocket boosters, and that looks fantastic. I do love this. But I don't think I'm going to display them with the rocket boosters, so let's put these back on. So these are not side-specific, but you do have to have them oriented correctly as far as up and down. You see there's a big tab and a little tab, so just line those up, and they pop in. And again, they are very tight. And there's the other side. And let's pop this middle leg out, put this little rope back on. Okay, I have figured out how to put this on quickly. This thing does flop around a lot, but once he's on the shelf, it'll look fine. These here on the 2 outer legs, I would not have minded if these were fixed. Okay, just sculpted in somehow or glued down, because this one over here does love to fall off. It could just be mine. I don't know, but that's how I'm going to have him. And let's put the claw back in, and let's put this bamboo stick back in his hand. There. That looks awesome. It's a cool droid. So now let's take a look at the Ronin. All right, here is the Ronin, and this figure's on another level of awesome. Great sculpt. The articulation's absolutely wacky. And we got the first wired robe in the Black Series. I'm going to call it a robe. It's like a sleeveless robe because there is a hood back here. First wired robe in the Black Series. Tons of fun. But let's take a look at this head sculpt first, and I think this is great. This is just well done. Eyes look good. Nose, mouth, the beard. Very nice. And I love the little stripe going across his nose and down his cheeks. It's just awesome. And the hair sculpt, kind of blowing in the wind. It just looks fantastic. And there's a little thing there holding the ponytail together. And from the neck down, there is so much detail, but I'll just start with this robe. It is wired. Okay, so you can position this however, and there's these 2 things here. Okay, this little bit here, you can have it flailing out of the way, and there's another one on this side. Okay, I think they look great. The tattered ends throughout, I think, are nicely done. It just looks super cool, right? Kind of matches the tattered ends of his sleeves. And you got some tattered ends up here at the shoulders. Very cool. And there's the hood. Okay, it is stitched down, but they've stitched it in a way to where it looks somewhat natural. Okay, it's fine, but overall, I think the robe is super cool. And his outfit, his gi top up here looks really good. The little shirt underneath is nice. You have his shoto here. This is all one piece, but it's all right. And then the sheath for his long saber. So these are separate. They peg in underneath this belt, okay, so they can be removed. I think they both look fantastic, especially the sheath for his saber, for the long saber. And I found out that this, all right, so the fact that his saber is broken, okay, it's ignited all the time. This sheath is made from the hilts of all the Sith that he defeated. That's super cool, but it's a fantastic sculpt. The belt looks very nice, and the pants. Yeah, they look great. And the shoes. I love the shoes. So much detail just on the feet alone. From top to bottom, this figure is absolutely top-notch. Oh, and I failed to mention this little bit of silver up here. That's cool. And as far as articulation on the Ronin, you've got some great side-to-side at the head, some very good up and down, as well as some outstanding tilt. Lots of range in his head. For arms up, they go up that far, no problem. They can rotate around, and he does have some very, very good butterfly joints in there. The elbows get way past 90. That's nice. There is a swivel at the elbow, but they made the forearms on a ball, so you have forearm swivel as well as pivot in every direction at the forearm. That's pretty cool. And then, of course, the wrist can swivel, and then you have up and down hinges on both hands, right and left, okay? So up and down there. But yeah, the forearms being on a ball is super cool. That's a first, I think. That's just awesome. And then from midsection, he's kind of tight, but he does have a little bit of twist, some crunch, some back, and a little bit of side-to-side tilt. For legs up, they go up to there. It's fine. Boy, they're super tight coming back down, though. And they go out all the way to there. And they go back just that much. There is no thigh cut, but you do have a little bit of rotation at the hip joint. Knees get just to 90, and then there's a swivel at the knee as well as lower leg swivel. That's kind of cool. And then feet down to there. They go up just a little bit, and there is some swivel at the ankle. So the articulation on the Ronin is very good. And then, we have some new engineering here, these ball-jointed forearms. That's just awesome. And here's a good look at the Ronin saber, and I love this thing. It's a katana, basically. The hilt is just killer. The black and the silver, all the detail just looks so good. The blade is a pretty good shade of red, and the blade can be removed. But again, the Ronin saber is broken. It's ignited all the time, but it's okay. Good-looking hilt. And here's the saber in the right hand, kind of an action-y pose, feet fairly far apart with the robe blowing in the wind. This wide robe is so much fun. Yeah, this is a cool pose right here. And here he is, saber still in the right hand, facing the other direction. I think this looks great. And here's the saber in two hands. This looks nice. But going back to one hand for a second, if you had him on a flight stand like this with the robe kind of blowing back, that would look great. I mean, I could be here all day posing him with his saber. I mean, the articulation on the Ronin is so good. But let's take a look at his sheath for the saber. All right, so you have this little bit there, and it's cut out right there at the end of the sheath. So that'll just slide in. That will just engage in there, and it sits very securely, and that looks good. So the articulation in the arm, well, the whole figure really, but in the arms in particular, is just so good. I mean, the elbows are great. The butterfly joints really help. But the ball-jointed forearms is just such a nice bonus. That is some fantastic engineering right there. But because of all that, you can make him drawing the saber with his left hand like this. I think that looks cool. Or you can have him drawing the saber with the right hand like this. That looks nice. And you can even flip the hand around and have him drawing it like this. And I do love the look of that. And I just want to show you real quick what these look like off the belt. So here's the long saber. The sheath just looks awesome. Got some holes there. Pretty sweet. You can see the blade through those. And there's the peg right there. So this one pegs in back here. Okay, a little hole there. And that's what the Shoto looks like. Again, this is all one piece. This is fixed. But it's a fantastic sculpt. I do love the look of it. There's the peg. So this one will peg in right there. And to put these on, you can just slip those under the belt and plug them into their respective holes. So there's that one. And I just noticed this big tag underneath the robe. That's hilarious. And for the long saber, you can just slip that under there and plug it into its respective hole. And it's kind of hard to see. Yeah, you just kind of have to wiggle it up there and bam. And that looks really good. So for display purposes, I think I'm just going to have the Ronin like this. Kind of a moderate actiony pose with the saber in one hand, and as you see, I turned him this way to have the robe blowing in this direction because his hair is sculpted blowing in that direction. So that works. I think this is a pretty cool pose, and I'm just going to have R5 like this, just holding his bamboo stick. I think both of these look phenomenal. So let's go put them on the shelf, and let's see how they look there. And that's what they look like on the shelf, and I am very, very pleased with both of these. Oh, here, you can see the blue sensor showing through R5's hat. That's pretty sweet. But man, the Ronin, God, what a stellar figure. Just looks so good on display, and that wired robe is so nice to have. And as you see, I put them on a little stand here in this section of the display, which is kind of the oddball section. Okay, but they fit right in. They look so good there. And that's what the box looks like on display. I mean, this thing is too nice to throw away. So bottom line, I think this is a super fun set. R5 looks fantastic. I mean, it's on the new Astromech body. You can't go wrong. It's nice having all the accessories, even though I probably won't use them. It's nice to have them. The rocket boosters are super cool, right? Because he did fly in the show. Now, one thing I wish they did include on R5 was his little, his rocket launchers, you know, that popped out. That would have been awesome. But, you know, they would have had to do some serious retooling, so I get it. But that would have been a phenomenal accessory for R5. But just like this, I think it looks great. But the Ronin, golly, this figure is just something else. The sculpt is just fantastic. The articulation is just wacky. His saber looks good. He poses so well. I mean, it's just a fun figure. I'm happy. I'm very happy with both, but just like always, I would love to hear from you guys. So comment below and let me know what you think of the Ronin and R5-D56 from Star Wars Visions. And if you enjoy videos on Star Wars The Black Series, smack like and subscribe if you're new, and don't forget to turn on notifications. I would certainly appreciate it. And something else that I would love for you to consider, and that is joining the channel. It is the 112th Battalion. It's only 99 cents a month. You'll get sneak peeks to upcoming videos, custom emojis and loyalty badges, and even some exclusive members-only content. I would definitely appreciate that. But just like always, thank you guys so much for watching. See y'all next time.